Right now, as you are watching this, a monster storm system is tearing across the United States, and it is about to get significantly worse in the next few hours. Over 400,000 homes have already lost power. Blizzard conditions are burying parts of the upper Midwest under 3 to 4 feet of snow. And the Storm Prediction Center has just issued a moderate risk for long-track, violent tornadoes for tomorrow. That is a 4 out of 5 on their severity scale. If you live anywhere east of the Mississippi River, this video could save your life or the life of someone you love. Here is what I need you to do right now. Drop a comment below telling me your city and state. I am going to be covering over 270 cities and locations across America in this video, and I want to make sure your area gets the attention it deserves. The more specific you are, the better I can help you in the next update. Now, I'm going to walk you through this entire storm system minute by minute, region by region. I am going to tell you exactly when this storm hits your area, when it peaks, and when it finally moves out. But I need you to stay with me because at the 5-minute mark of this video, I am going to reveal the second storm system that is already forming right behind this one and what it means for the rest of March and into April. Most people have no idea this is coming. Do not skip ahead. Every section builds on the last, and the information I share around the 3-minute mark about the pressure drop happening overnight is something the national news is not talking about yet. Let us start with what is happening right now, this Sunday afternoon, March the 15th. This is the Ides of March, and just like the ancient warning says, you need to look over your shoulder because what is behind you is just as dangerous as what is in front of you. Right now, this storm system is sitting over the central United States, and it is a triple threat. In the north, we have a full-blown blizzard. In the middle, we have destructive straight-line winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour. And in the south, we have a tornado watch stretching from Illinois through Missouri, Arkansas, northeastern Texas, and into northern Louisiana. 3 completely different types of dangerous weather, all from the same storm, all happening at the same time. Let me give you the numbers that just came in. Power outages as of this hour: Ohio, 84,000 homes in the dark. Pennsylvania, 71,000. Texas, 37,000. Indiana, 32,000. Oklahoma, 24,000. Kentucky, 18,000. Wisconsin, 15,000. And those numbers are climbing every single minute. By tomorrow morning, we could be looking at over 1 million homes without power across the eastern half of the country. And here is the twist that makes this so much worse. Freezing temperatures are rushing in right behind this storm, so if you lose power tonight, you are not just sitting in the dark. You are sitting in the dark in temperatures that could drop to single digits with dangerous wind chills on top of that. This is why preparation right now in the next few hours is absolutely critical. Let me walk you through the warnings that are active at this moment. Freeze warnings are in effect from Mississippi through Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle, lasting all the way until 10 in the morning on the 17th. Red flag warnings for fire danger are active across Texas and New Mexico through 7 in the evening tomorrow. High wind warnings are blasting through the Central Plains. And blizzard warnings, here is where it gets intense. Blizzard warnings are posted for South Dakota, eastern Nebraska, Iowa, southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Now, the blizzard warning timing is critical for those of you in the upper Midwest. For South Dakota and eastern Nebraska, the blizzard conditions continue through 9 tonight. For Iowa and southern Minnesota, you are under blizzard conditions through 7 in the morning tomorrow. For Wisconsin, this extends all the way to 4 in the afternoon tomorrow. And for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you are looking at blizzard conditions lasting until 7 in the evening tomorrow. That is the longest duration, and there is a very specific reason for that, which I am about to explain. Snow is falling right now at rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour across the upper Mississippi River Valley and into the western Great Lakes states. Multiple locations in Wisconsin have already received over 2 feet of snow, and the storm is not even close to finished. The National Weather Service is forecasting an additional 6 to 18 inches across a wide swath of the upper Midwest, with localized totals reaching up to 4 feet in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Let me say that again. 4 feet of total snow accumulation. That has the potential to set 2-day snowfall records in several locations. But here is what most people do not understand about this storm, and this is the critical information I promised you at the 3-minute mark. Right now, the central pressure of this low-pressure system is hovering around 989 to 990 millibars. that is already strong. But starting around 10 tonight through midnight, the pressure is going to start dropping dramatically. By the early morning hours, we are looking at pressure falling into the 970s. That is a significant intensification, and when that happens, everything about this storm gets worse. The snow bands get heavier, the winds get stronger, the severe weather becomes more volatile, the tornado threat increases. This is what meteorologists call bombogenesis, when a storm's pressure drops rapidly. And it is happening tonight while most of America is sleeping. That is what makes this so dangerous. The worst of this storm for many areas is going to hit between midnight and sunrise when people are in their beds, not watching the weather, not paying attention to warnings. If you are in the path of this storm, and I am about to tell you exactly who is, please set your phone alerts to the highest level tonight. Do not silence your weather warnings. This is a night where those alerts could literally wake you up and save your life. Now let me break this down region by region, and I am going to be as specific as possible with timing. This is what you have been waiting for, starting with the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. If you are in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, or the Dakotas, here is your timeline. The heaviest snow bands are moving through right now and will continue through the overnight hours. Snowfall rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour are expected within the strongest bands from southeastern Minnesota all the way to northern Michigan. The peak intensity for the blizzard hits between midnight tonight and noon tomorrow. Winds will be gusting up to 60 miles per hour on top of the heavy snow, creating whiteout conditions with near zero visibility. For the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you have a double threat. Not only are you getting the heavy snow, but an ice storm is developing for the far northern portions. Freezing rain could accumulate up to half an inch or more, and that is on top of the heavy snow. That combination means power outages are almost guaranteed. And there is sleet mixed in above the freezing rain line, which means your roads are going to be absolutely treacherous. Do not drive tonight or tomorrow morning if you are in the Upper Peninsula. I cannot stress this enough. For Minneapolis and St. Paul, your heaviest snow is happening right now through about 2 in the morning. Expect an additional 6 to 10 inches on top of what has already fallen. The snow tapers off by mid-morning tomorrow, but the winds will continue to cause significant blowing and drifting through the afternoon. For Green Bay and Milwaukee, the snow intensifies overnight as that low pressure deepens. Your peak snowfall rates hit between midnight and 8 in the morning. Milwaukee, you are on the southern edge, so you are dealing with a mix of snow and sleet that is going to make roads incredibly dangerous. Green Bay, you are in the heavier snow band, looking at an additional 10 to 16 inches possible. For Madison, Wisconsin, here is something interesting. There is a freezing rain and sleet line that has set up right across central and eastern Wisconsin. This sleet and freezing rain has actually been suppressing your snowfall totals compared to what the models originally showed. But do not let that fool you. The ice accumulation is making roads extremely dangerous. And as the storm intensifies overnight, you will transition back to heavy snow. So you are getting ice, then snow on top of ice. That is the worst possible combination for travel. For Chicago, you are on the southwestern edge of the heavy snow. Your main threat is the wind. Expect gusts of 40 to 55 miles per hour through tomorrow morning. Some snow showers, maybe 2 to 4 inches, but the wind is your primary enemy. Expect flight delays and cancellations at O'Hare and Midway. For Detroit, you are getting the tail end of the snow and ice mix. 3 to 6 inches of snow with some freezing rain mixed in, especially in the northern suburbs. Your bigger concern is tomorrow, and I'm going to explain why in just a moment when I get to the severe weather section. Do not skip ahead, because what is coming to the eastern half of the country tomorrow is what the Storm Prediction Center is most worried about. Now, moving to the Ohio Valley. If you are in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, or West Virginia, you are in one of the most complex zones of this entire storm. You are getting hit from multiple angles. Right now, the Ohio Valley is experiencing widespread thunderstorms with wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. That is why Ohio leads the nation in power outages at 84,000 homes. And this is just the appetizer. The main course arrives overnight and into tomorrow. For Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, your timeline looks like this. Thunderstorms and strong winds continue through about midnight tonight. Winds stay gusty through the overnight hours, 30 to 45 miles per hour sustained. Tomorrow morning, the severe weather threat ramps up significantly as the squall line approaches. From about noon to 4 in the afternoon tomorrow, you are in the highest risk window for damaging winds and possible tornadoes. After 4 in the afternoon, the tornado threat decreases, but the damaging wind threat continues through the evening. For Indianapolis, you are slightly ahead of the Ohio cities. Your strongest storms move through between 10 tonight and 2 in the morning. Expect power outages. Behind the storms, temperatures crash into the 20s by tomorrow morning with wind chills in the single digits. For Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, pay close attention. You are right in the bullseye for the overnight tornado threat. The tornado watch that is active right now extends through 9 tonight, but the threat continues well beyond that. As the low pressure intensifies after midnight, the instability over the Tennessee and Kentucky Valley is going to be the fuel that produces the most dangerous storms. Your highest risk window is from 10 tonight through 3 in the morning. Please have a plan. Know where your safe room is. Keep shoes by your bed. Have a flashlight ready. Now, here is the part I promised you at the 5-minute mark, and this is the information that changes everything about how you should prepare for the next 2 weeks. This storm system, as devastating as it is not the end. It is just the beginning of a pattern shift that is going to affect the entire country through the rest of March and into April. The Arctic oscillation, which is one of the key drivers of our weather patterns, is about to take a deep negative dip. This was triggered by what meteorologists call a sudden stratospheric warming event. Think of it like a weather earthquake that happens miles above our heads in the stratosphere, and it takes about a week to 10 days for the effects to work their way down to the ground level. The data is showing this kicks in by late March, around the 25th to the 30th, which means early April is going to bring another significant round of cold and potentially stormy weather. So if you think winter is over after this storm passes, I need you to hear me clearly. It is not. We are looking at below normal temperatures returning and the potential for more winter storms, yes, even into April. I will have a full breakdown of that pattern in my next video, so make sure you are checking back for that. But for now, file that information away because it affects your planning for the next several weeks. Now back to the immediate threat. Let me talk about what is coming tomorrow, Monday, March the 16th, because this is the day that has the Storm Prediction Center the most concerned. The severe weather outlook for tomorrow is, frankly, alarming. We have a moderate risk that is level 4 out of 5 for severe thunderstorms across the mid-Atlantic coastal states from extreme north-central South Carolina into central North Carolina, Virginia, and into western portions of Maryland. Below that, an enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, extends all the way down to the Georgia border, and a slight risk, level 2 out of 5, reaches all the way into central Florida. Let me spell out what this means in plain English. Tomorrow, we are expecting long-track, strong tornadoes, possibly EF2 or greater, across a wide area. The Storm Prediction Center specifically mentioned that even weak boundary layer heating will be sufficient to intensify an extensive line of storms from western to central portions of New York and Pennsylvania, southward through Virginia and North Carolina, by midday and early afternoon. Some of these tornadoes could be long track with sporadic strong tornadoes in addition to widespread damaging winds. Let me give you the specific timing and cities at risk starting from south to north for Georgia, including Atlanta, Macon, Augusta, Savannah, and Columbus. A warm front is passing through your area right now. Tomorrow morning, starting around 9, a band of very heavy thunderstorms develops and moves through central and southwest Georgia. Your peak severe weather window is late morning through early afternoon, roughly 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. These storms will be capable of producing damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, perhaps 70 miles per hour, a few tornadoes, and medium to large-sized hail. Do not be surprised if you go under a tornado watch tomorrow late morning. For Savannah specifically, you have been enjoying temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s for the last couple of weeks. That is about to change dramatically. Tomorrow, you hit the mid-70s one last time before the cold front crashes through. By Tuesday morning, St. Patrick's Day, you are waking up to 35 degrees. Your high temperature on Tuesday, if you are lucky, 55 degrees. That is a drop of nearly 30 degrees in 24 hours. And the winds will be blowing northwest at 12 to 18 miles per hour, making it feel even colder. If you are going to the St. Patrick's Day parade, bundle up. In the shaded areas, it is going to feel like it is in the 30s. For South Carolina, including Charleston, Columbia, Greenville, and Myrtle Beach, Your severe weather window opens around midday tomorrow and extends through the early evening. Columbia and Greenville, you are in the moderate risk zone, which means all types of severe weather are on the table. Tornadoes, large hail, 2 inches in diameter or greater, and damaging winds. Charleston and Myrtle Beach, you are in the enhanced to slight risk, with the main threat being damaging winds and possible tornadoes as the squall line pushes through late afternoon. For North Carolina, including Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Wilmington, and Asheville. This is one of the highest risk areas for tomorrow. The moderate risk zone is centered right over central North Carolina. Your severe weather window is noon to 6 in the evening. This is when the dynamics are strongest, when the jet stream energy is at its peak over your area. Charlotte, your window is slightly earlier, 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Raleigh and Durham, noon to 5 in the afternoon. Asheville, you are getting storms coming out of Tennessee starting as early as 9 in the morning. Expect long-track supercells ahead of the main squall line, followed by the line itself with embedded tornado potential. For Virginia, including Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Charlottesville, Roanoke, and the northern Virginia suburbs of Washington, you are squarely in the moderate risk zone. Your severe weather window is 1 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening. This is when the low-pressure system is really intensifying as it moves toward the mid-Atlantic. The National Weather Service specifically highlighted that tornadoes, some strong and particularly damaging winds, are most likely from parts of South Carolina to Maryland during the afternoon. Richmond, your peak threat is 2 to 5 in the afternoon. Northern Virginia, 3 to 6 in the afternoon. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, the storms arrive later, 4 to 7 in the evening, but they could still be potent. For Maryland, including Baltimore, Annapolis, Frederick, and the greater Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Your severe weather window is 2 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening. The storm system will be at near peak intensity as it crosses your area. Expect damaging winds, possible tornadoes, and large hail. The squall line will be moving fast, so the severe weather may only last 30 to 60 minutes at any given location, but it will be intense. Have your safe room identified. Be ready to take shelter with very little notice. For Pennsylvania, and this is new information that just came in, including Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Allentown, Scranton, and Erie. The severe weather outlook has shifted further north than originally expected. You are now in the slight to enhanced risk zone. Your severe weather window is 3 in the afternoon to 8 in the evening for the eastern cities like Philadelphia and Allentown. For Pittsburgh, your window is earlier, noon to 4 in the afternoon. The main threat is damaging winds, 50 to 70 miles per hour, with an outside chance of a brief tornado, especially along and south of the Interstate 80 corridor. For New York, including New York City, Albany, Syracuse, Buffalo, and Long Island, this shift northward is significant for you as well. Your severe weather window is 4 in the afternoon to 9 in the evening. New York City and Long Island, expect the storms to arrive between 5 and 7 in the evening right during the commute home. This will primarily be a wind event, with gusts potentially reaching 60 miles per hour. There is a low but non-zero chance of a brief tornado, especially in the lower Hudson Valley and on Long Island. Buffalo and Syracuse, your threat is mainly snow and wind on the backside of the system. For New Jersey, including Newark, Trenton, and Atlantic City, your window mirrors Philadelphia and New York roughly 3 to 8 in the evening. Damaging winds are the primary threat. For Delaware, including Wilmington and Dover, 3 to 7 in the evening. Same wind and severe thunderstorm threat as Maryland and southeastern Pennsylvania. For Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, including Hartford, Providence, and Boston, you are on the northern edge of the severe weather risk. Storms arrive 6 to 10 in the evening. The main threat is strong to damaging winds, 40 to 60 miles per hour gusts. The tornado risk is very low, but not zero. Behind the storms, temperatures drop sharply overnight. Now let me cover the southern tier because you are not out of the woods either. For Tennessee, including Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, and Chattanooga, you are in the active zone right now and through tonight. Nashville, your strongest storms come through between 8 tonight and midnight. Memphis, you are getting hammered right now and it continues through about 10 tonight. Knoxville and Chattanooga, your severe weather window extends from now through 2 in the morning. The tornado threat is elevated across the Tennessee Valley because that is where the instability is strongest. As supercells form ahead of the main squall line, they will have the fuel they need to produce tornadoes. Your safe room plan needs to be active tonight. For Alabama, including Birmingham, Montgomery, Huntsville, and Mobile, Birmingham and Huntsville, your severe weather window is tonight through about 2 in the morning. The squall line brings damaging winds and possible embedded tornadoes. Montgomery and Mobile, the storms push through between midnight and 5 in the morning. Behind the cold front, temperatures crash. By Tuesday morning, northern Alabama is seeing highs only in the 30s. For Mississippi, including Jackson, Gulfport, Hattiesburg, and Tupelo, the tornado watch is active for you right now. Strongest storms come through this evening, 7 to midnight. The squall line will be intense with damaging winds and embedded tornado potential. The lower Mississippi Valley stays at risk through the overnight hours. For the Florida Panhandle and northern Florida, including Tallahassee, Pensacola, Jacksonville, Gainesville, and Orlando, Tallahassee and Pensacola, your severe weather window is tonight through about 3 in the morning, similar timing to southern Alabama. Jacksonville, storms arrive between 2 and 6 in the morning. Orlando and central Florida, you are in the slight risk zone with storms expected between 6 and 10 in the morning tomorrow. The main threat is damaging winds and an isolated tornado for West Virginia, including Charleston, Huntington, Morgantown, and Wheeling. You are caught between the heavy snow to your north and the severe storms to your south. Charleston and Huntington, your severe weather window is tomorrow from noon to 5 in the afternoon. Expect damaging winds and the possibility of a tornado as the squall line pushes through. The mountains may actually enhance some of these storms as they funnel through the valleys. Morgantown and Wheeling, you are more on the snow and ice side of things. Expect 3 to 6 inches of wet, heavy snow overnight with ice accumulation possible on power lines. This means power outages are very likely for you. Tuesday morning lows drop into the teens across the state. For the Appalachian Mountain communities in Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee, there is an additional concern. As the cold air rushes in behind the front, elevations above 3,000 feet could see significant snow accumulation even in areas that just had thunderstorms hours earlier. The temperature swing in the mountains could be 40 degrees or more in just 12 hours. Roads that were wet from rain will flash freeze. Black ice is going to be a major hazard on mountain roads from Monday evening through Wednesday morning. Now let me shift to the central states because the wind threat there is staggering. For Texas, including Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Amarillo, Lubbock, and El Paso, the Panhandle and western Texas are dealing with extreme fire danger right now because of the red flag warnings. Amarillo and Lubbock, winds are gusting 50 to 65 miles per hour with dry conditions making any spark a potential wildfire. Dallas and Fort Worth, your storms have mostly passed, but winds remain gusty through tonight, 30 to 45 miles per hour. Behind the front, freezing temperatures are heading for the Panhandle. By tomorrow morning, Amarillo could see single-digit temperatures. Houston and San Antonio, you are south of the main action, but expect gusty winds and a few thunderstorms overnight. For Oklahoma, including Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman, you have been getting hammered today with wind gusts reaching 60 to 70 miles per hour. 24,000 homes are already without power. The winds continue through tonight, but gradually diminish after midnight. Temperatures plummet behind the front into the teens and 20s by tomorrow morning. For Kansas, including Wichita, Topeka, and Kansas City. Similar story, extreme winds today gradually diminishing overnight. Kansas City, you are on the cold side of the storm with temperatures crashing into the teens tonight with dangerous wind chills below zero. For Nebraska, including Omaha and Lincoln, blizzard conditions in eastern Nebraska continue through 9 tonight. Omaha, expect an additional 4 to 8 inches of snow with winds gusting to 50 miles per hour, creating near zero visibility. Lincoln, slightly less snow, but the same dangerous winds. Now for the western states, you have a completely different situation unfolding. And do not miss this because it is a plot twist that nobody is talking about. While the eastern 2/3 of the country is dealing with this brutal winter storm and severe weather, the southwest United States is about to bake. By Thursday and Friday of this week, temperatures in southeastern California and southwestern Arizona are going to soar to 105 to 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Palm Springs could hit 111 degrees in mid-March. That is absolutely unheard of. So you have one half of the country buried in snow and ice with tornado sirens going off, and the other half of the country setting record heat. The temperature difference between Minneapolis and Phoenix could be over 120 degrees this week. That contrast is exactly what is fueling this monster storm system. For the Pacific Northwest, including Seattle, Portland, and Boise, you are in a relatively quiet pattern right now, but keep your eye on what develops later in the week as the jet stream pattern shifts. For the Mountain West, including Denver, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and Phoenix. Denver, you are on the cold side. Expect highs in the 30s tomorrow with wind chills in the teens. Salt Lake City, quiet and cold, 20s and 30s. Albuquerque, dealing with the fire danger from the red flag warnings. Phoenix, you are trending warm, well above normal, with triple-digit heat possible by late week. For California, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, Sacramento, and Fresno. The coast stays mild, 50s and 60s, but the inland valleys and desert areas are going to see that extreme heat by Thursday and Friday. If you are in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area, or the Imperial Valley, prepare for summer like temperatures in the middle of March. Now let me circle back to the overnight threat because this is the part that keeps me up at night, and I mean that literally. Between midnight and 6 in the morning, the low-pressure system is going to undergo its most rapid intensification. The pressure drops from the 980s into the 970s. When that happens, here is the chain reaction. The snow bands in the upper Midwest become even more intense, dumping an additional 6 to 12 inches in the heaviest bands. The winds across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes increase to 50 to 60 miles per hour, sustained with gusts to 75. The squall line in the south strengthens and becomes more organized, increasing the tornado threat. And here is what is most concerning. As that squall line moves through the Tennessee and Kentucky Valley between 10 tonight and 3 in the morning, individual supercells can form ahead of the main line. These are the cells that produce the strongest, most dangerous tornadoes. They have room to breathe, they have fuel from the warm, moist air, and they have the spin from the jet stream energy. This is a classic setup for a significant tornado outbreak overnight, which is the most dangerous kind because people are asleep. If you live in Tennessee, Kentucky, the Mid-Atlantic, or anywhere along the Appalachians, please turn your weather radio on tonight. Make sure your phone alerts are enabled. Have shoes and a flashlight by your bed. Know where your safe room is, the lowest level of your home, an interior room away from windows. If you have a basement, that is where you need to go if a warning is issued. If you live in a mobile home or manufactured housing, please make arrangements to be somewhere safer tonight. Mobile homes offer almost no protection from tornadoes. Let me now give you the temperature outlook because this is the other major story that is going to affect tens of millions of people. Behind this storm system, Arctic air is pouring south. Tomorrow morning, lows across the northern tier. Minneapolis, -5 to -10 degrees. Des Moines, 3 degrees. Chicago, 12 degrees. Detroit, 18 degrees. These are dangerous cold temperatures, especially for anyone who loses power tonight. Tomorrow's highs paint a dramatic picture. Along the Gulf Coast, you warm back into the 40s and 50s. But across the north-central states, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley, highs stay in the teens and 20s. The wind chill makes it feel like single digits or below zero across a wide area. Then Tuesday morning, another round of freezing temperatures pushes all the way down into central Georgia and South Carolina, all the way into southern Alabama. The upper Mississippi Valley sees temperatures below zero again. And if you still do not have power by Tuesday morning, this becomes a genuine life-threatening situation for vulnerable populations, the elderly, young children, and those with medical conditions. For those of you who garden, and I know many of you do, this freeze is going to kill any tender vegetation that has been sprouting up. Temperatures in the lower 30s with calm winds on Wednesday morning means frost is very likely across the Deep South and Mid-Atlantic. Cover your plants if you can. If you have a garden, take precautions now because this cold snap is going to be a killer for early spring plantings. Now let me run through the extended outlook because I do not want you caught off guard again. Tuesday, March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. For most of the eastern United States, this is going to be a cold, blustery day. The storm system pushes off the coast by sunrise, but the cold air is locked in. Highs in the 40s and 50s for the mid-Atlantic and southeast with gusty northwest winds making it feel much colder. Teens and 20s across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. If you have outdoor plans for St. Patrick's Day, dress in layers. This is not the 70 and 80 degree weather you have been enjoying. Wednesday through Friday, a slow warming trend begins for most areas. Highs climb back into the 50s and 60s across the south, 40s and 50s across the Midwest and Northeast. But here is the catch, and this goes back to what I told you about the Arctic oscillation. This warming is temporary. Late March, roughly the 25th through the 30th, the models are showing another significant surge of cold air. The sudden stratospheric warming event I mentioned earlier takes about a week to 10 days to propagate down to the surface, and that timing lines up perfectly with late March. This means we could see another significant storm system, more cold, and potentially more winter weather right when everyone thinks spring has arrived. And for the Southwest, the heat wave building this week peaks Thursday and Friday with temperatures 105 to 111 degrees in the desert regions. That is 20 to 30 degrees above normal for this time of year. It is a stark reminder of the extreme contrasts in our weather pattern right now. Now let me give you the comprehensive city-by-city breakdown for the next 48 hours. I am going to go through this quickly, but I want every single person watching to find their city. Northeast Corridor. Boston, storms arrive tomorrow evening 6 to 9, main threat wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Temperature drops to low 30s by Tuesday morning. New York City, storms 5 to 8 tomorrow evening, wind gusts to 60, lows in the upper 20s Tuesday morning. Philadelphia, storms 3 to 7 tomorrow afternoon into evening, damaging winds primary threat, lows near 30 Tuesday morning. Pittsburgh, storms noon to 4 tomorrow, wind and possible severe, lows mid-20s. Hartford, storms 6 to 10 tomorrow evening, gusty winds, lows near 30. Providence, similar to Hartford.
Mid-Atlantic, Washington, D.C., storms 2 to 6 tomorrow afternoon, damaging winds and possible tornado, highs Tuesday only near 50, lows near 30. Baltimore, storms 2 to 7 tomorrow, same threats, similar temperatures. Richmond, storms 2 to 5 tomorrow afternoon, moderate risk for severe, lows near 28 Tuesday morning. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, storms 4 to 7 tomorrow, wind primary threat, lows near 32. Southeast, Atlanta, storms 10 tomorrow morning to 2 afternoon, damaging wind and tornado possible, Tuesday high near 55, low near 30. Charlotte, storms 11 tomorrow morning to 3 afternoon, moderate risk, Tuesday high near 50, low near 28. Raleigh, storms noon to 5 tomorrow, highest tornado risk, Tuesday high 52, low near 30. Charleston, South Carolina, storms 2 to 6 tomorrow afternoon, enhanced risk, Tuesday high 58, low 34. Savannah, storms 10 tomorrow morning to 2 afternoon, possible tornado watch, Tuesday high 55, low 35. Jacksonville, storms 2 to 6 tomorrow morning, slight risk, Tuesday high 60, low 38. Orlando, storms 6 to 10 tomorrow morning, slight risk, Tuesday high 65, low 42. Tampa, storms 8 to noon tomorrow, marginal risk, Tuesday high 68, low 45. Miami, minimal severe risk, gusty winds, Tuesday high 75, low 60. Gulf Coast. New Orleans, storms tonight through 3 in the morning, damaging winds, Tuesday high 58, low 38. Mobile, storms midnight to 5 tomorrow morning, gusty winds, Tuesday high 55, low 35. Pensacola, storms tonight through 3 morning, wind primary threat, Tuesday high 57, low 36. Houston, scattered storms overnight, Tuesday high 60, low 40. Dallas, winds diminishing overnight, Tuesday high 48, low 28, cold. San Antonio, gusty winds overnight, Tuesday high 55, low 35. Austin, similar to San Antonio. Central States, Nashville, severe storms 8 tonight through midnight, tornado possible, Tuesday high 43, low 22. Memphis, storms continuing through 10 tonight, Tuesday high 45, low 24. Louisville, severe storms 10 tonight through 3 morning, tornado risk elevated, Tuesday high 40, low 20. Knoxville, storms through 2 morning, Tuesday high 42, low 22. Birmingham, severe storms tonight through 2 morning, Tuesday high 45, low 25. Jackson, Mississippi, storms 7 to midnight tonight, Tuesday high 50, low 28. Midwest, Chicago, wind gusts through tomorrow morning, some snow, Tuesday high 28, low 14. Milwaukee, heavy snow overnight, 6 to 10 additional inches, Tuesday high 25, low 12. Minneapolis, blizzard conditions through 2 morning, Tuesday high 18, low -2. Des Moines, blizzard ending tonight, Tuesday high 22, low 3. Indianapolis, severe storms 10 tonight through 2 morning, Tuesday high 30, low 16. St. Louis, storms this evening, Tuesday high 35, low 18. Kansas City, extreme winds diminishing, Tuesday high 28, low 12. Omaha, blizzard through 9 tonight, Tuesday high 20, low 5. Wichita, winds diminishing, Tuesday high 32, low 15. Great Lakes, Detroit, storms tonight through tomorrow, Tuesday high 32, low 20. Cleveland, storms overnight into tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday high 30, low 18. Grand Rapids, heavy snow and wind overnight, Tuesday high 26, low 14. Green Bay, blizzard conditions, 10 to 16 more inches, Tuesday high 20, low 8. Upper Peninsula of Michigan, blizzard through 7 tomorrow evening, up to 4 feet total, ice storm possible, Tuesday high 18, low 5. Mountain and western states, Denver, cold and windy, Tuesday high 35, low 15. Salt Lake City, quiet, Tuesday high 40, low 22. Albuquerque, fire danger, Tuesday high 55, low 30. Phoenix, warming trend, Tuesday high 85, warming to triple digits by Thursday. Las Vegas, Tuesday high 75, trending warmer. Los Angeles, mild, Tuesday high 68, low 50. San Francisco, Tuesday high 60, low 48. Seattle, dry, Tuesday high 52, low 38. Portland, dry, Tuesday high 50, low 36. Boise, Tuesday high 45, low 25.
Upper South additional cities, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Severe storms 10 tonight through 2 morning. Tornado threat elevated, Tuesday high 38, low 20. Paducah, Kentucky. Storms 9 tonight through midnight, Tuesday high 35, low 18. Clarksville, Tennessee, severe storms 8 tonight through midnight, Tuesday high 40, low 20. Chattanooga, storms through 2 morning, Tuesday high 44, low 24. Huntsville, Alabama, storms tonight through 2 morning, damaging winds, Tuesday high 42, low 22. Tuscaloosa, storms midnight to 4 morning, Tuesday high 48, low 26. Montgomery, storms 1 to 5 morning, Tuesday high 50, low 28. Dothan, Alabama, storms 2 to 6 morning, Tuesday high 52, low 30. Meridian, Mississippi, storms 8 to midnight tonight, Tuesday high 48, low 26. Hattiesburg, storms 9 tonight to 1 morning, Tuesday high 52, low 30. Gulfport and Biloxi, storms 10 tonight to 2 morning, Tuesday high 55, low 32. Baton Rouge, storms tonight, Tuesday high 55, low 36. Shreveport, storms this evening, Tuesday high 45, low 26. Additional northeast cities. Albany, New York, storms 5 to 8 tomorrow evening, wind gusts 40 to 55 miles per hour, Tuesday high 35, low 18. Syracuse, storms late tomorrow afternoon into evening, mainly wind, some snow behind the front. Tuesday, high 30, low 15. Rochester, similar to Syracuse with more lake effect snow potential. Tuesday, high 28, low 14. Burlington, Vermont, storms 7 to 10 tomorrow evening, gusty winds. Tuesday, high 30, low 12. Portland, Maine, storms 8 to 11 tomorrow evening, wind primary threat, Tuesday, high 32, low 15. Manchester, New Hampshire, storms 7 to 10 tomorrow evening, Tuesday, high 34, low 16. Worcester, Massachusetts, storms 6 to 9 tomorrow evening, Tuesday, high 36, low 18. Springfield, Massachusetts, similar timing, Tuesday, high 38, low 20. Bridgeport and Stamford, Connecticut, storms 5 to 8 tomorrow evening, wind gusts to 55 miles per hour, Tuesday high 40, low 22. Additional mid-Atlantic cities. Fredericksburg, Virginia, storms 2 to 5 tomorrow afternoon, moderate risk, Tuesday high 48, low 26. Lynchburg, storms 1 to 4 tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday high 45, low 24. Roanoke, storms noon to 3 tomorrow, some snow mixing in behind front by evening, Tuesday high 42, low 22. Salisbury, Maryland, storms 3 to 6 tomorrow, Tuesday high 50, low 30. Dover, Delaware, storms 3 to 7 tomorrow, Tuesday high 48, low 28. Cape May, New Jersey, storms 4 to 7 tomorrow, Tuesday high 45, low 30. Atlantic City, storms 4 to 7 tomorrow, wind primary threat, Tuesday high 46, low 28. Wilmington, Delaware, storms 3 to 6 tomorrow, Tuesday high 46, low 28. Additional southeast cities. Fayetteville, North Carolina, storms 11 tomorrow morning to 3 afternoon, enhanced risk, Tuesday high 50, low 28. Wilmington, North Carolina, storms noon to 4 tomorrow, damaging winds and possible tornado, Tuesday high 55, low 32.
Greenville, South Carolina, storms 11 to 2 tomorrow, moderate risk. Tuesday, high 50, low 28. Spartanburg, similar to Greenville. Florence, South Carolina, storms noon to 4 tomorrow, enhanced risk. Tuesday, high 52, low 30. Myrtle Beach, storms 1 to 5 tomorrow afternoon. Tuesday, high 55, low 34. Augusta, Georgia, storms 10 tomorrow morning to 2 afternoon. Tuesday, high 55, low 30. Macon, storms 10 to 1 tomorrow. Tuesday, high 58, low 32. Albany, Georgia, storms 9 to noon tomorrow. Tuesday, high 55, low 32. Tallahassee, storms 2 to 6 tomorrow morning. Tuesday, high 58, low 34. Gainesville, Florida, storms 4 to 8 tomorrow morning. Slight risk. Tuesday, high 62, low 38. Daytona Beach, storms 7 to 11 tomorrow morning. Tuesday, high 65, low 42. Fort Myers, minimal risk. Gusty winds. Tuesday, high 75, low 55. West Palm Beach, minimal risk, breezy, Tuesday, high 76, low 58. Additional Midwest cities. Rockford, Illinois, snow and wind overnight, 4 to 8 inches, Tuesday, high 24, low 10. Peoria, storms this evening, then cold crash, Tuesday, high 28, low 14. Springfield, Illinois, storms this evening, Tuesday, high 30, low 15. Terre Haute, Indiana, storms 10 tonight through 2 morning, Tuesday, high 30, low 14. Fort Wayne, storms overnight, possible ice, Tuesday, high 28, low 14. South Bend, heavy snow and wind overnight, 6 to 10 inches, Tuesday, high 24, low 12. Duluth, Minnesota, blizzard conditions, heavy snow, Tuesday, high 15, low -5. Rochester, Minnesota, blizzard through morning, Tuesday, high 18, low 0. La Crosse, Wisconsin, heavy snow through tomorrow, 12 to 18 inches possible, Tuesday, high 20, low 5. Eau Claire, blizzard conditions through tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday, high 18, low 2. Marquette, Michigan, blizzard through 7 tomorrow evening, up to 4 feet total, ice storm possible. This is ground zero for the heaviest snow, Tuesday, high 15, low 2. Traverse City, Michigan, heavy snow and ice mix, 8 to 14 inches, Tuesday, high 24, low 10. Saginaw and Bay City, snow and ice mix overnight, Tuesday, high 28, low 14, Southern Plains. Oklahoma City, winds diminishing, Tuesday, high 38, low 18. Tulsa, same pattern, Tuesday, high 40, low 20. Amarillo, dangerously cold behind front, Tuesday, high 28, low 8. Lubbock, cold and windy, Tuesday, high 35, low 15. El Paso, Tuesday, high 60, low 35. Mountain States, Billings, cold, Tuesday, high 30, low 12. Cheyenne, cold and windy, Tuesday, high 28, low 10. Rapid City, post-blizzard cleanup, Tuesday, high 25, low 8. Fargo, extreme cold, Tuesday, high 15, low -5. Sioux Falls, post-blizzard, Tuesday, high 18, low 0. Now, I want to address something directly. I know this is a lot of information. I know it can feel overwhelming. But here is the thing. This is not about fear. I do not practice fear, and I do not want you to practice fear either. This is about being informed, being prepared, and being smart. There is a massive difference between being scared and being ready. Here is what I need you to do in the next 2 hours if you are in the path of this storm. Step 1. Charge every device you own. Your phone, your tablet, your laptop, portable battery packs. If you lose power, your phone is your lifeline to weather warnings. Step 2. Fill some containers with water. If the power goes out, your well pump stops working. Even city water can be affected by power outages at pumping stations. Have at least 1 gallon per person for 24 hours. Step 3. Gather flashlights, batteries, and candles. But be extremely careful with candles. More house fires start during power outages from candles than almost any other cause. Step 4. Keep your refrigerator and freezer closed as much as possible. A full freezer will keep food frozen for 48 hours if you do not open it. Step 5. Know your safe room. Interior room, lowest floor, away from windows. If you are in a mobile home, identify a nearby sturdy structure you can get to quickly. Do this now, not when the tornado warning sounds. Step 6. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly neighbors, anyone who lives alone, anyone with medical conditions. A quick knock on the door or phone call could make all the difference. Step 7. If you have a generator, make sure it is fueled and ready, but never, ever run a generator inside your home or garage. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills people every single year during power outages. Run it outside at least 20 feet from any window or door. Step 8. Bring pets inside. If it is too cold for you, it is too cold for them. Step 9. Move your vehicles into the garage if you have one. Large hail, 2 inches in diameter or greater, is expected across parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic tomorrow. That will destroy a windshield and dent every panel on your car. Step 10. Have a battery-powered weather radio or keep your phone charged with weather alerts turned on. Tonight is a night where you need to be able to receive warnings even while sleeping. Now let me give you one more critical piece of information about the severe weather tomorrow. The type of storm system we are dealing with is called a QLCS, which stands for Quasi-Linear Convective System. In plain English, it is a long, organized line of thunderstorms that moves fast and produces widespread damaging winds. But here is what makes it especially dangerous. Embedded within this line, individual storm cells can spin up and produce tornadoes with very little warning. These are called QLCS tornadoes, and they are notorious because they can form so quickly that the lead time on warnings is sometimes only a few minutes. On top of that, ahead of the main squall line, individual supercell thunderstorms can develop. These are the classic rotating storms that produce the strongest tornadoes. So tomorrow, you have a double threat, supercells out ahead of the line that could produce strong, long-track tornadoes, and then the line itself with embedded tornado potential and widespread damaging winds. The Storm Prediction Center is saying that this is the strongest severe weather setup we have had so far this season. The 60% wind probability they have posted is enormous. That means across the risk area there is a 60% chance of damaging winds within 25 miles of any point. That is a very, very high number. For those of you along the East Coast, here is how tomorrow plays out hour by hour. Morning 6 to 9. Storms are rolling through Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. This is when the Southeast sees its peak threat. Late morning, 9 to noon. The squall line strengthens across the Carolinas and pushes into Virginia. Supercells form ahead of the line. Early afternoon, noon to 3. Peak severe weather for Virginia, the District of Columbia, and Maryland. The dynamics are at their strongest. This is when long-track tornadoes are most likely in the mid-Atlantic. Mid-afternoon, 3 to 6. The line pushes through Pennsylvania and into New York and New Jersey. Damaging winds are the primary threat, but tornado potential remains. Evening, 6 to 9. Storms affect New England and the northern mid-Atlantic. Winds are still damaging, but the tornado threat diminishes as you go further north. After 9 in the evening, the system pushes off the coast. Winds remain gusty behind the front, but the severe weather is over for most areas. And let me tell you what comes after. Once this storm exits, a surge of Canadian high pressure builds in. This is what brings the bitter cold for Tuesday and Wednesday, but it also brings crystal clear skies and calm winds by Wednesday afternoon. So if you can get through the next 36 hours, better weather is on the other side. But remember what I said earlier, this is not the end of winter. The Arctic oscillation is trending sharply negative, and the sudden stratospheric warming event is going to send another pulse of cold air southward by late March. So enjoy the warming trend from Wednesday through the weekend, but do not put your winter coat away just yet. Do not turn off your furnace. Do not assume the worst is over. I am going to have a complete breakdown of that late March storm potential in my next video. It is going to be a detailed look at the pattern through April, including what it means for planting season, what it means for energy costs, and what it means for the severe weather season that is just getting started. Now, before I wrap up, let me summarize the absolute most critical information one more time, and I am repeating this because it is that important. If you tuned in late, if you have been multitasking, stop what you are doing and listen to this next section. The overnight hours tonight are going to be the most dangerous period for the upper Midwest and the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. The storm is going through rapid intensification, and that means conditions will deteriorate quickly between 10 tonight and 6 tomorrow morning. If you went to bed thinking the storm was manageable, you could wake up to a completely different reality. Set your weather alerts now. Let me also break down what rapid intensification actually means for those who are not familiar with the term. When a storm's central pressure drops rapidly, the pressure gradient between the storm center and the surrounding atmosphere increases. Think of it like a drain in a bathtub. The deeper the drain,
the faster the water spins around it. As this storm's pressure plunges from 990 millibars down to 970 millibars overnight, the atmosphere around it responds by accelerating. Winds increase, snowbands tighten and dump heavier rates. The warm sector ahead of the cold front becomes more volatile, fueling stronger thunderstorms. Everything ramps up simultaneously. This is not a gradual worsening. This is a step change that happens over just a few hours. And there is another factor that makes tomorrow's severe weather particularly concerning: the jet stream. Right now, the upper-level jet stream is screaming across the eastern United States at over 150 miles per hour at 30,000 feet. When you have that kind of energy aloft, combined with warm, moist air at the surface and a rapidly deepening surface low, you get explosive storm development. The atmosphere literally has too much energy, and it needs to release it. Tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail are the atmosphere's way of releasing that excess energy. Tomorrow, the atmosphere over the mid-Atlantic has an enormous amount of excess energy to release. This is also why the severe weather outlook shifted further north into Pennsylvania and New York in the latest update. The jet stream energy is tracking slightly further north than originally expected, which expands the threat area. If you live in central Pennsylvania, the lower Hudson Valley of New York, or northern New Jersey, and you were not originally in the severe weather risk area, you are now. Please take this seriously. These late shifts in the forecast often catch people off guard because they were not expecting to be in the danger zone. Let me give you a few more cities that I want to specifically address because I have been getting questions about them. Anchorage, Alaska, you are completely disconnected from the storm system. Your weather is independent and currently running cold but stable. Honolulu, Hawaii, you had major flooding issues recently with 48,000 homes losing power. The situation is improving but still not back to normal. If you are in Hawaii, continue to follow local emergency management guidance. For the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I want to come back to you one more time because your situation is the most extreme in terms of snow accumulation. Marquette, Houghton, Sioux, St. Marie, Escanaba, Iron Mountain, you are in a generational snow event. The combination of the blizzard, the lake enhancement from Lake Superior, and the prolonged duration of this storm means some of you could see 4 feet of snow when all is said and done. That is not a typo, 4 feet. And on top of that snow, there is an ice storm component for the northern fringe where freezing rain accumulates to half an inch. That ice on top of the snow on power lines and tree branches means catastrophic power outages. Some areas may not have power restored for 3 to 5 days. If you have not already prepared for an extended outage, do so immediately. Fill your bathtubs with water, stock up on non-perishable food, make sure you have adequate heating that does not require electricity, and please check on your elderly neighbors. In remote parts of the Upper Peninsula, help may not arrive quickly. For Flagstaff, Arizona, you are getting a completely different storm from the Pacific side. Expect snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday as a secondary system clips through. 3 to 6 inches possible, not related to the main event but worth knowing. For Spokane, Washington, cold and dry through midweek. For Missoula, Montana, cold temperatures in the single digits Tuesday morning. For Jackson Hole, Wyoming, cold and blustery but no major storm. I also want to address the drought situation in the southeast because it is relevant to what happens after this storm. Despite the rain and thunderstorms moving through tomorrow, the southeast has been extremely dry for months. The drought conditions across Georgia, South Carolina, and the Savannah area remain significant. This one day of rain is not going to fix the problem. And once the cold front passes and the dry northwest winds kick in Tuesday through Thursday, fire danger will actually increase again across the southeast. If you are doing any outdoor burning in the days after this storm passes, be extremely careful. The fire weather index is very high across the region. And for those of you who are snow lovers, yes, I know some of you are watching this from warmer climates thinking you wish you had snow. Let me just say that there is a big difference between a picturesque 6-inch snowfall and a 4-foot blizzard with 60-mile-per-hour winds. The people in the upper Midwest right now are not enjoying this snow. They are enduring it. Send them your good thoughts tonight because many of them are going to have a very long and difficult few days ahead. Now, let me also mention something about the economic impact of this storm because it is going to be significant. Early estimates suggest that the combined damage from the blizzard, severe weather, and power outages could exceed several $billions. Between crop damage from the late-season freeze across the south, infrastructure damage from the tornadoes and winds, snow removal costs across the Midwest, and lost economic productivity from business closures and flight cancellations, this is going to be one of the most expensive weather events of the year so far. And we are only in mid-March. This is exactly the kind of weather pattern that climate scientists have been talking about for years. More extreme temperature contrasts, more volatile storm systems, more records being set on both ends of the thermometer simultaneously. Having record heat in the Southwest and record cold in the Midwest at the same time creates exactly the kind of atmospheric instability that produces these monster storms. Whether you are interested in the science behind it or not, the practical reality is that these types of extreme weather events are becoming more common, and being prepared for them is more important than ever. This is exactly why I do these updates. Not to scare you, not to create panic, but to give you the information you need when you need it so you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. Knowledge is power, especially when the actual power might go out. Tonight, overnight through tomorrow morning is the most dangerous period. The low pressure is intensifying rapidly. Blizzard conditions in the upper Midwest will produce up to 4 feet of snow in the heaviest areas. Tornadoes are possible overnight across the Tennessee and Kentucky Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, and the Southeast. Power outages will climb significantly, potentially exceeding 1 million homes by tomorrow morning. Freezing temperatures follow right behind the storm. Tomorrow, Monday, March the 16th, is a high-risk severe weather day. Long-track, strong tornadoes are possible from the Carolinas through Virginia and Maryland. Damaging winds of 60 to 75 miles per hour will affect areas from Georgia to New York. Large hail up to 2 inches in diameter or greater is expected across the southeast and mid-Atlantic. The squall line moves coast to coast through the eastern states from morning through evening. Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, is brutally cold. Highs in the teens and 20s across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. Highs in the 40s and 50s across the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. Frost possible as far south as central Georgia and South Carolina. Dangerous wind chills for anyone still without power. I want to hear from every single one of you. Drop a comment right now with your city and state. Tell me what you are seeing out your window. Tell me how you are preparing. I read every single comment, and I will do my best to give you specific guidance for your exact location. Now, here is something I have not mentioned yet that could catch a lot of people off guard. The snow that is falling across the upper Midwest right now is extremely heavy and wet. This is what we call heart attack snow because shoveling it puts enormous strain on your cardiovascular system. If you are over 45 years old, if you have any heart condition, high blood pressure, or if you are not used to strenuous physical activity, please do not go out and shovel this snow without taking breaks every 10 to 15 minutes. Better yet, use a snowblower if you have one, or hire someone to do it. Every single year, hundreds of Americans suffer heart attacks while shoveling heavy snow. Do not become a statistic. The snow will still be there in an hour. Take your time. And while we are talking about safety after the storm, let me mention something about driving. After this system passes through, many roads across the Midwest and Northeast are going to have black ice. The rain and melting from today and tomorrow will refreeze Monday night and Tuesday morning as temperatures crash. Even roads that look dry and clear can have invisible patches of ice. Reduce your speed, increase your following distance. And if you do not absolutely need to drive Monday night through Wednesday morning, stay home. Every state from Texas to Maine is going to have dangerous road conditions at some point during this event. For those of you with livestock and farms across the Great Plains and Midwest, this is a critical situation. The combination of extreme winds, heavy snow, and plunging temperatures can be deadly for cattle and other livestock. Make sure your animals have shelter and access to unfrozen water. Break ice on water troughs. Provide extra feed because animals burn more calories trying to stay warm. If you have calving operations, get those animals into shelter now. The wind chill across the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Minnesota could reach -20 to -30 degrees. That is lethal for newborn calves within minutes. I also want to address the power companies directly because I know many of you are going to be frustrated in the coming days. Utility crews cannot safely work to restore power when winds are gusting above 40 miles per hour. That means for many areas, power restoration cannot even begin until the winds die down, which for some locations will not be until Tuesday.
Please be patient with your local utility workers. They will be working around the clock in extremely dangerous conditions to get your power back. Have your backup plan ready for at least 48 to 72 hours without power. For those of you in apartments and high-rise buildings, especially in cities like New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C., be aware that high winds tomorrow could make it dangerous to walk near tall buildings. Wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour can turn loose objects into projectiles. Secure anything on your balcony. Stay away from windows during the peak wind hours. And if your building loses power, the elevators will not work. If you have mobility issues and live on a higher floor, consider making arrangements to stay with someone on a lower floor or at ground level. If you live in a row house or townhouse in the Mid-Atlantic corridor, check your roof and gutters now. The combination of heavy rain from the thunderstorms followed by gusty winds can cause flooding if your gutters are clogged. And if a tree falls on your home during the storm, get everyone out and call 911. Do not try to remove the tree yourself. For the boating community along the Atlantic coast, small craft and gale warnings are in effect from the Carolinas to New England. Do not go out on the water. Secure your boats and docks. Storm surge is not expected to be a major issue with this system, but wave heights could reach 10 to 15 feet offshore, and the winds will create dangerous conditions in harbors and marinas. One more thing for the aviation community and anyone planning to fly tomorrow. Expect massive disruptions at every major airport east of the Mississippi River. Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington Dulles, Reagan National, Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, Newark, LaGuardia, John F. Kennedy, Boston. Logan, all of these airports will see significant delays and cancellations tomorrow. If you have a flight, check with your airline now. Many carriers are already offering free rebooking for Monday flights. If you can push your travel to Wednesday or later, that is your safest bet. And for the schools, I want to talk directly to parents for a moment. Many school districts across the upper Midwest have already canceled classes for tomorrow. If your school district has not made an announcement yet, expect one tonight or early tomorrow morning. Do not send your children to school if conditions are dangerous. No school day is worth risking your child as safety. And if school is canceled, remember that kids need supervision, especially during power outages when they might be tempted to play with candles, fire, or generators. If you found this video helpful, help me get this information out to other people. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors. The more people who are prepared, the safer we all are. In my next video, I am going to break down that late March storm potential, the Arctic oscillation plunge, and what the rest of spring looks like. If you think this storm is dramatic, wait until you see what the models are showing for late March. It could rival what we are seeing right now. Make sure you are checking back for that update because the timing of that next system is going to be critical for millions of Americans. Stay prepared. Check on your neighbors. And remember, being informed is not about being afraid. It is about being ready. The difference between a weather event being an inconvenience and a catastrophe often comes down to 48 hours of preparation. You have those 48 hours right now. Use them wisely. Stay safe out there, America. I will see you in the next update with the latest information on what is coming next. And trust me, you are going to want to see that next video because what the long-range models are showing for the last week of March is something we have not seen in years. A potential coast-to-coast storm with impacts from the Rockies all the way to the Atlantic. I am tracking it closely and I will have a full breakdown as soon as the data becomes clearer. One last thing. For those of you riding this storm out tonight, remember, you are not alone. Millions of Americans are going through this together. Check on each other. Help each other. That is how we get through these things. Not through fear, but through community and preparation. Comment below your city and state. Tell me what conditions are like where you are right now. I will be monitoring the comments and providing updates throughout the night. Your reports from the ground help me, and they help your neighbors know what is coming their way. Stay prepared, stay informed, and I will talk to you very soon. Remember, the next update is going to cover that late March system in detail, including specific